Hi everyone, and welcome to the next instalment of my kit bash conversion of a Dragon's M7 Priest in my 35th scale, changing it into the ones used by the Canadians on D-Day. Now in this video we're going to be looking at scratch building the sidewalls and also looking at the initial paint stages with the acrylic and detailing work. So if you'd like to grab yourself a brew, let's do some modelling. So first of all, got some goodies in the post. Got some 105mm ammo boxes, resin ones. Need a little bit of cleanup here and there, but should be good when painted up, and that will be used on the rear stowage. Now the Panzerart wireless radio set, very good indeed. Sadly though, the supplier forgot to put the PE bit in, so that's on its way as we speak, so hopefully that'll be with us in time. But yeah, very detailed. Looking forward to getting that all painted up and wired up and put in the priest itself. And then finally we have some Archer dry transfers, which I absolutely hate. But that was the only way I could get some wording and lettering inside. So there'll be one or two. I'm not going to go overboard. Just a bit of added detail. So first off, we did the front panel, the initial height. There is a little bracket to go on there as well, but I'll do that nearer the end of the build because it's fiddly and will get in the way. The actual the left hand panel, just needed to put a little border on there so that it fitted on correctly, so we had the correct height. I've added the ruler onto some of these photos so you can have the measurements if you're following along. Then it's a matter of doing the brackets. Just use some Slater strip just to do a base, and then turning the Slater strip the other way around. That created the actual look of the girder itself, as you can see there. And then what I did, I added further strip on top of that, and that gave a realistic representation of what the original looked like. I followed it down by doing the bottom halves as well, and I was really pleased with the way they looked. So it's just a matter of adding on some detailing, which we'll look at in a moment. But on the other side, it was a lot easier. It's just a straightforward panel, and that was stuck onto the side, as you can see there. And then it was just a matter of adding those girders in exactly the same manner as I did on the left hand side. As for the back panel, just had to check where the gap was going to go. As you can see, there's the vent on the back part of the model. So it was just a matter of getting that all lined up, and then that was cut away, as you can see there. The actual vent covering, I'll do that when I do the outside of the model. I just wanted to concentrate on the interior. It had a little strengthening bracket all the way around, so that was added again using the Slater strip. There is also a girder that goes all the way around the top, so just using some strip that was all cut. Wasn't the best of cuts, but again I'll worry about that when I do the outside. Now at this point I was thinking things don't quite look right, but it wasn't until later that the penny dropped of the mistake I'd made, so I just carried on blindly and doing the triangular panels at the top. And as you can see there, they were just a mirror image of each one, and they fitted on nicely. And again I'm thinking this doesn't quite look right, but I added all the girders on around the side and some strengthening strip as well, and then the penny dropped. It was too high, so I went and remeasured and rescaled everything, and it seemed that I was 5 millimeters out, so I just cut a strip all the way off the top, and I just had to add on the side irons again, but not a big problem. As a matter of getting all the Meng nuts, quite easy. There was only about 80 that had to be done, and I can't wait to put them on the outside as well. But hey ho. Now when putting on the nuts, I realised that one of the girders was too long, so that was cut and stripped back. But as you can see, it is a nice piece of detailing, and again on the other side, Now, as you look at that picture, the right hand girder on both sides is far too tight. That should have come in 3 or 4 mil, but I've gone too far down the line to change it. And as you can see on the instructions there is a little bit of a problem there, but it's not a major issue. And these are the gun mounts from the Voyager PE set, very nicely done. And I just improved some of the detailing here. Put a little pamphlet or booklet in that top box. That would be fine. And there we go. That's the handles put on there as well. Just using 3mm wire. Made a little jig which I use all the time. And then just using the blunt nose pliers, just squeeze out, flatten each end. And those get stuck in place with CA glue. Quite straightforward process. Now I wanted to recreate the Bostik waterproof glue that goes around all of the seams, all of the nuts, etc, etc. So I used some of the putty and just used a brush, and as you can see in a moment there, that was applied onto all of the panels. So just a quick recap on the scratch building sections. As you can see, the main nuts and the battery have been added on the back panel. And there you go, you get a better idea of that Bostik waterproof stuff that I've put in. The seats, they'll be put on last, they'll be in a closed position. The actual bar that goes across for the tarpaulin in the game will be done at the very end. And after all of me cutting back to resize it, it's looking a lot better now. So very pleased with those side panels, how they've turned out. As for those wire handles, you can stick them anywhere. I've seen so many different references of where the handles go. It's no biggie. They'll just be ideal for hanging kit bags off of and that sort of thing. And again, this side, the seat will be in an upright position. And really, it's just a matter of putting those supports in. This side is obviously a lot easier. But really pleased with how all of that's turned out. There should be another part that goes on top, but again, we'll worry about that when we do the outside detailing. Again, these spare seat holders, again, lots of different references of where they should go, so it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. I added on the Bostik stuff a little bit thicker on the back, and again there we have the trim along the top. But again, really pleased with how that's turned out. And again, some stills, so you can see the added detailing. And this shows you how it all fits together, interlocks, it just slides down. May have to do a little bit of filling on the outside, but yeah, I'm pleased with that, where that's all heading. And as you can see, those girders will need sorting out on the corners, but again, I'll worry about that at the end. So onto the painting, using a Tamiya surface primer, red oxide. As always, went on very smoothly, very pleased with the finish. And then I went over with some black German grey just to help with the chipping process. Laid down, as always, a couple of layers of hairspray, and then we decided to mix up a couple of model colour Vallejo colours, yellow ochre and deep green, and that came out quite a nice colour, quite a realistic one, I think, anyway. So I was pleased with the green look. And then once that was dry, it's just a matter of just doing a little bit of chipping. Didn't do a great deal, because obviously these are fairly new vehicles. And then it was a matter of, once that was all dry, masking it off using some Cam Medium Brown from Vallejo. I did the top areas. I think that's quite a nice contrast. And then it was just a matter of painting the waterproofing black. And there we have the 3 sections all ready for weatherproofing. So just want to run through some of the areas. As you can see, it's all white down on the front. As for the detailing at the front, just painted the wires all black. And there we go, there's some of those arch transfers. Just stuck a couple on there. And you can see a little bit of the chipping that I've done as well. Certainly not gone overboard with the chipping this time around. And that's where the dials will go. I'm not too sure if I'm going to paint that white just yet. But this is the dial cover, and the Voyager PE set has a nice transfer in there that we'll use. And here we go, just going over the side panels again. I personally think it's a pretty good colour match to what they use, but to be perfectly honest, once I've weathered it all and arty-fartied around with all the oils and that, it's going to look a bit different anyway. But I'm really pleased with these colours for a starting block anyway. And a little caution sign there, so I thought it'd be a bit dangerous getting this part of the model. Again, the PE didn't do a great deal of chipping here, because I don't know about you guys, but whenever you do chipping on PE, you usually end up revealing the metal, so wasn't too brutal on the PE parts. Added a little bit of silvering here, just to add some interest, but again, this is just base coat stuff. It'll all be sorted out. This was my first attempt at the Archer decals and didn't go particularly well, but it doesn't matter because you ain't going to see any of this. And then we have the transmission system. On one of the photos I saw a little label that had first, second, third, fourth and reverse on it, so I thought that was a nice little added bit of interest there, so painted that on. But yeah, looking forward to weathering that part. Gun barrel, again, all nice and straightforward. The rope on there, I don't know how it's happened, but the actual I don't know, the locking bit here, as you can see now, I didn't push that all the way in, which is a real pain, but shouldn't be a major issue, and I shall just carry on regardless as it is. This added a little bit of detail painting. Obviously the telescopic lenses painted grey, they'll be blackened up, and obviously some of the P parts I've used antique gold on there. It's really just to add a bit of interest, really, a bit of detailing. But yeah, very pleased with how that all turned out. And then finally the seat, added 2 or 3 different colours of green on there, but again, when the oil work's done, that'll all get improved. But yeah, very pleased indeed with how that all turned out. So all that left then was to add on some matte varnish. Now these are the 105mm ammunition canisters. Again, that they were primed in the same way with the Tamiya. Then they were laid out, and the hairspray was added, painted black, and then masked off for the yellow banding. And as we all know, yellow and black do not go together very well, so this was a real bugger to chip, and certainly wasn't my finest hour. However, there is enough there for me to work with, and with the oils I'm pretty sure they'll turn out okay. But there we have it. Very time consuming, but hopefully it'll be worth it once done. So just a few stills so that you can see how the build has been progressing. These were the first 2 attempts with the Archer transfers. I like to have gone for the placard ones, but I just couldn't get a hold of them in this country, and getting them over from the US, they wanted to charge about $15 for postage, and I wasn't prepared to pay that. So, but again, it's just another little bit of detailing. So the oils have been set out. We'll wait for the linseed oil to drain out, and then we can crack on and start doing some weathering, which we shall cover off in the next video. So just leaves me to say thank you very much indeed for popping in and having a look. Getting some good feedback from this project, and it seems a lot of you are enjoying it. So many thanks to all of my subscribers. Appreciate all your continued support, and happy modelling.